Rylan, you guys have Nebraska Kearney coming up. I know you were watching some film on them, got some things. What is it that stands out about this Nebraska Kearney team to you?
Their offense. The quarterback, T.J. Davis, he's pretty fast, pretty quick. Their linemen, they're big, they're strong, physical, but I think we're going to play a good game. We match up well.
For you guys, what's maybe the number one key to being successful on Saturday?
Effort. It's all going to be about effort. It's going to be about who wants it more.
Hey guys, too, you mentioned T.J. Davis, obviously conference leading rusher by quite a bit. Kind of what does that kind of present for you guys on defense as a challenge to kind of stop that run game?
It presents a pretty big challenge, but we are definitely ready for him. We play with great effort. These past couple games have been really good for us. So, like I said, if we just go out there with effort, I think we'll get it done.
Yeah, and you play pretty well defensively the last few games. So kind of bringing that, you kind of carry the momentum into each game each week. You feel like?
Yes, we have. I feel like we're climbing up a mountain. Keep going, and we keep playing the way we're playing. We're going to like the results in the end.
Yeah, and then one more for me. This is two of the top three scoring offenses in the league. Do you think this is a game that could come down to defensively, who kind of steps up? What team steps up defensively?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have great confidence in our team and our defense, especially in our backer core, and just overall, like I said, like I keep saying, if we just play with effort and play with our toughness and our core breaks, we'll get it done.
Okay.
Laney?
Hey Rylan, how's it going?
It's going good.
All right, so without giving away too much, obviously, how do you guys prepare for a quarterback like T.J. Davis who can run the ball so well?
We have good scout team quarterbacks that are pretty fast, just like T.J., and they give us good looks throughout practice, so we're prepared.
Perfect. And so what do you think is just really going to take for you guys to be able to kind of hold him off and the rest of the offense off?
Just being able to trust each other, not trying to do too much, not trying to work outside our core, just relying on each other and relying on what the coaches teach us and just playing ball.
And, Nebraska Kearney doesn't lose very often. So what do you think it would do for you guys to be able to beat them and hand them their second loss?
It'd be a great confidence boost. Going into the season, we knew we were going to be pretty good. So just beating a team like this would give us even more confidence going out through the rest of the season.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Vince?
I know you guys have a lot of games left for the rest of the season. Would you maybe label this as one of your biggest tests so far?
Oh yes, absolutely. Against a ranked team like Nebraska Kearney, this is going to be a great game for us, and just to keep our season going and keep climbing that mountain.
And I know Coach Higgins, when you guys were in the huddle last week, he said you guys are playing a ranked team. This is how you establish your confidence. This is how you guys become even a better team. And when Coach was kind of talking to you guys and giving you that prep talk, I know that was a couple days ago, how did that maybe help you guys and kind of look ahead to that game and to really start preparing? Maybe right after that game you guys won against Central Missouri.
That speech that they gave us really just kept our head down, made us humble, and just be ready for this big test that we're going to go to.
There we go. And one last thing for me, you kind of talked about how your confidence is really, it would really boost your confidence. What would it do, maybe for the rest of the season? I know you guys could beat a ranked team. You guys are 4-2 right now. You guys are clicking on offense and defense. So will that confidence just be through the roof and you guys know you can beat anybody? Oh,
absolutely. I think it already is. I think we're going in this game fairly confident. We know that this team is really good, but personally, me and I know the rest of the team we're really confident in each other and ourselves and our coaching staff.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Rylan.
Wait, I have one more question. Sorry. So this is a ranked opponent that you have, and you guys played ranked Pitt State very close. So have you been trying to find the similarities in those two teams to help your guys' game plan for this weekend?
Yeah, but for the most part, this Kearney team and Pitt State, they play a relatively different offense. So it's hard to kind of find the similarities, but they're both ranked teams. They're both really good offenses. So if we just play how we've been playing, we can get it done.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
All right. Good. Thanks, Rylan.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good luck. Well, another ranked team coming up. And we just talked about Nebraska Kearney's offense. What about their defense? What stands out about Kearney's defense?
Start with their D-line. They're big physical guys, and honestly, that's the whole defense. They play fast and physical. they know they're going to have to defend so many possessions, so they get after it when they can.
Do you prefer the big physical defensive lines, or do you prefer the quick athletic defensive lines?
You know, UCM was pretty athletic, and then these guys are a little bigger than what we saw last week, so I kind of like mixing it up every time. It doesn't really matter to this group. We just we'll see anybody in the MIAA.
The way the offense has started to click over the last really the last 3 to 4 weeks, what is it about the way things are going that gives you guys the confidence and has things clicking like they are?
I think we're just playing a lot more physical up front, and that kind of helps everyone do better at their job, especially when you got Tim back there. It's pretty easy to have a good game if he's dicing it up.
Yeah, you got obviously football's a game. It's kind of one in the trenches, so to speak. So, what does that mean to you guys as an offensive line to kind of set the tone for the rest of your offense?
It has definitely been a good thing for our team, and definitely just the overall offense, seeing what we've been doing. But this week's going to be a very big challenge, honestly, for this game. Both sides of the ball, trenches are probably going to decide how the outcome goes.
And Nebraska Kearney, your top 3 scoring defense in the conference, allowing over 16.5 points per game. Does that add an extra challenge for you guys offensively this week?
I mean, it just kind of goes back to what this program's built on, which is playing clean. So we just have to continue what we have been doing, which is play smart football, take care of the ball, fly around.
Thank you.
Laney?
Hey Connor, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So with Nebraska Kearney's offense being as good as it is, how important is it for your guys' offense to just be able to match them and be even better?
I mean, we have to get points when we're out there. They do that offense. I mean, their whole team's good. They do a good job of clock management and getting points when they're out there, so we just have to do the same to be able to compete with them.
And you guys have been doing a great job, helping Braden out and giving him time. Just with all the success he's had, how much credit would you take for it?
I think our line's just doing the job that we're supposed to do. I don't know if there's a whole lot of credit there. Tim's pretty good at what he does. We just got to protect him.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. That's all I had.
Vince?
All right. Well, so just to base kind of on what Laney was talking about, Coach has talked about you guys playing 4 quarters. You guys have been doing that the last couple of games. Have you seen that too, where you guys are completing all 4 quarters and not giving up, in that 4th quarter, despite you guys maybe being up 20 or down 20?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to see, especially over the last couple of years. We've definitely struggled in that 4th quarter and let some games go. So I'm happy to see us finishing through. The last couple of years we have a strong 3 quarters, but that 4th quarter is a struggle. So now you kind of see the team starting to grow until we can play a full 4.
And how do you see that changing, I guess? We know Coach, and we've talked with a lot of you guys that, this is a veteran team and has a lot of leadership on it. Has that played a role in how you guys are finishing the 4th quarter?
I think it honestly does. Just the leadership we have, how many seniors we have, the guys that have stepped up in places that we need people to step up. It's just showing that we can finish games and that we're able to win football games.
The last thing I had for me is, with Braden, we know how good he is and, how well he can spread the ball around the offense, whether it's the run game, he can run, so when you guys have him moving and you have him rolling, what does that do for your line specifically, knowing that, hey, like you said, we have to protect him, but how does that maybe boost you guys in a different way when he's moving the offense like that?
It definitely helps a lot because he's dangerous passing and he's dangerous throwing. So, being a defense, that's pretty hard to defend, so we can kind of mix up our play styles. So it's just not, we're dropping back in 50 protection every time. We're starting to kind of get that era where we can do a little bit of everything, so it makes us a little harder to defend.
That's all I got, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connor. Good. Well, Braden, you guys are coming off a week that you really had a balanced offensive effort against Central Missouri. You had a 100-yard rusher. You had 2 receivers with over 100 yards receiving. When you look at the stats and you see that kind of a game, what are you seeing?
Really just seeing guys out there making plays, just executing what they're told to be do, just get the ball in their hands and let them make some plays.
For Nebraska Kearney, what challenges are they going defensively? What kind of challenges are they going to give to you guys?
They're a really solid defense. It's keep everything in front, kind of bend, don't break. I think their secondary is really good. They're good up front, good backers. So really just going to have to play a good, sound game and kind of take what they give us and execute.
Great. When you're coming off the game, you have all those offensive statistics. Do you feel like this offense is kind of hitting its stride at the right time of the season, or is there more ceiling here still?
I think so, but I also definitely think there's areas we can keep improving and keep getting better. You just try to keep going into week by week and not really look forward or look behind you. Just kind of take it as it goes.
Yeah, and in Nebraska Kearney, it's 2 of the top 3 scoring offenses in the league. Does that add anything else for you guys, or just kind of go play the game and not try to worry about matching them offensively?
No, we really just try to play our game, do our thing. Use our tempo to our advantage, kind of thing. But we got to put points on the board. We got to help our defense out. They got to help us out. So at the end of the day, when we're out there, we need to be putting points up.
Yeah, one more for me. Their defense is top 3 in the conference, so in terms of allowing points. Have you seen anything from them on film that stands out, or just kind of go out there and focus on your strengths?
We just really got to focus on us. They're a solid defense, and we're just going to have to execute our game plan.
Thank you.
All right, Laney.
Hey Braden, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So Nebraska Kearney is another ranked opponent for you guys, and you played ranked Pitt State really close. Just how similar or how different are your approaches and game plans for this game?
I still think it's the same approach each week. Every team in this conference could almost be ranked, it seems like. Everybody's a good team, so you really just take it week by week and try to keep the same approach.
And I'm sorry if this question was already asked, I couldn't hear it super well, but they have a great quarterback, TJ Davis, a super high-powered offense. So just how important is it for you and your offense to score when you get on the field?
It's very important. When we get the ball, we need to execute and put points on the board. Doesn't matter how it comes, we just need to score points when we're out there.
And how important is it, or would you say it's important to start fast when you're on the road and kind of get their crowd out of the game?
I think it's very important, but I also think with our offense, it's always important for us to start fast and find a rhythm early and just kind of get a flow of the game.
All right, thanks.
Welcome.
Vince.
Braden, the hair's on point, man. I'll say it to you every week.
Thank you.
So, really quick, man, obviously, you guys have been moving your offense really well. You guys can, you put up points, and we kind of talked in the field last week that you maybe have found your stride a little bit in the offense. And do you see that now in practice and moving forward?
I do. I think it's just the way we approach each day and come to work. I think we've got a lot of mature guys on the team, especially offensively. You got guys who know what's going on and who've been playing in this league and know how to come out to practice and work and how to come out to a game. And I think just we're locked in and focused, and I think that's when we execute really well.
Executing is going to be big against this team. How well they are on offense as well on the defensive side of the ball. Is it maybe not you're not matching their game, but also just trying to, stay ahead of them? I know you talked about that a little bit, but maybe not match them per se, but be one step ahead of them in all phases of the game.
Yeah, we just got to play our game offensively and just, let that be us. We don't need to change who we are or change our identity. I think we just need to play our ball, play our brand of football, and we'll be all right.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Braden.
Thanks, Braden. Well, Nebraska Kearney's coming up. Everybody knows they're a good team. From a coaching standpoint, though, it really does come down to the X's and O's and executing on game day. But to be able to putting the game plan together, how much of a challenge was it? And is that something you really like doing, putting together game plans to try to beat teams that are? Is that for you? Is that a fun part of the process?
I guess, it's one of those things where sometimes you can overthink things. I know I do. Even after you kind of get the game plan kind of finalized, like for us it's really kind of done on Monday night, of course. So we come in Tuesday, we're able to get, the game plan packets ready to go, and then you go through a practice on Tuesday, and you may see a few things that you may want to add. The biggest thing for us is to make sure that our players, as you said, are able to execute it. I love to draw. I'm an offensive guy, of course, so I love to game plan and think about plays and things like that. But it's not necessarily about plays; it's about the players, and making sure that you're putting them in the right position, to make plays for you. And but it's a grind. I'll say that much. I don't know if any part of it is fun. That's why I got all this gray hair, especially game planning for teams in the MIAA. It is very, very difficult each and every Saturday. Man, it is a grind. I'm tired. I'm worn out right now, Greg, as you can tell. I mean, that made me think about me being worn out all week game planning.
When you look at Nebraska Kearney, what challenges do they offer your football team?
I mean, where do you start? I think that of course, you're going to start over on the offensive side of the football, where they have the electric quarterback. I mean, he's T.J. Davis. He does what they do and does it very well. I mean, he is the driver of the bus, as I say, and he makes their offense go. They got some other skilled athletes right along with him. Defensively, they are very sound in what they do. They're very well coached. They really bow their neck when you get inside the 25 in the red zone, which is going to be real important for us because, we did a good job last week kicking field goals, but to me, I want touchdowns. We need touchdowns. They're a ball control offense. I mean, if you can have any totally opposite ends of the spectrum, teams going against each other offensively, this is what you're going to get. We don't want to snap the ball with 4 seconds. We want to snap that ball with about 30 to 25 seconds left on the play clock and get going. So we're gonna have, but to be able to do that, we're gonna have to execute. So it's going to be a big challenge for us because they are there's a reason why they were a playoff team last year. Is because they don't have very many weaknesses at all.
And obviously, a guy like T.J. Davis, who leads the league in rushing by a pretty wide margin, is there anything you do in practice to game plan specifically with someone like him?
Well, you can't simulate what he does in practice. You
Yeah.
try as best you can. I think that, if somehow he wasn't able to make it to the game, because again, he is. I tell you, the thing that impresses me about him the most is how tough he is. I mean, honestly, you've got to think about it. He plays quarterback. Everybody knows that's a guy you got to stop, and he takes shot after shot, and he gets back up. I mean, I got a lot of respect for him and how he plays the game, and how tough a competitor that he is, and that's why they're successful. They got like I said, they got a great leader leading that offense, and but man, it is. I don't know if you can't stop him. You got to just try to slow him down as best you can. And do a good job of tackling. We got to do a better job than we did last week.
Yeah, and to that point too, 2 of the top 3 scoring offenses in the conference. Do you kind of try to outpace them, or do you kind of try to keep your guys to play their game and not worry about what they're doing offensively?
Yeah, I think that's. I think for us, it's more about just we're not going to try to outpace them. We're going to just play. I mean, again, we have an identity. They have an identity. I feel like that's why we're successful on offense. Our players know what's expected of them. We're not grab bagging anything. They're the same way. I think they're going to do what they do. We're going to do what we do, and we know we're going to have to execute at a high level and take advantage of any opportunities that we get.
And just one more from me. Their defense is also top 3 in scoring. What
I'm glad you reminded me about all these things you're the top at. No, I'm messing
but
with
still,
you.
I guess for your offense, what kind of challenges does that present for your offense?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the most important thing for us is being able to, get in a rhythm, stay ahead of the chains, make sure that we're able to be efficient when we get inside the red zone, and we did, like I said, we did a great job. I mean, Caden Dotson did a great job last week of putting points on the board and keeping the momentum on our side. But, I don't know how many opportunities we're going to get with the football. When you play a team that runs the football and leads the league in rushing and does what they do, they're going to. They could keep the ball. And we got to defensively, we got to be able to get off the field and get the ball back to us. And that's why it's a challenge for us. Is we got to make sure that we are efficient and we put points on the board when we get our opportunities.
Thank you.
Laney?
Hey, Coach Higgins, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So against a ranked team like Nebraska Kearney, just how important is it for you guys to get going fast, and how do you prepare your guys to be able to get going right when the game starts?
I think that it's important, but it's not the most important thing. We've gotten off to slow starts, and then ended up playing well. I think that we just have to be consistent, meaning that we got to do a good job consistently on first down to kind of get us in a rhythm. Okay, so again, sometimes during the course of the game, you know, we've hit a lull before, and sometimes that lull's right at the beginning of the game, you know, and we just gotta. That's why we don't change who we are. We know eventually we're going to get things going, and that's what we've been able to do. You know, we prepare our guys just by kind of knowing exactly what we want to get done with our, you know, first 2 or 3 series of the game, you know, and how we want to go about attacking them. And I think, again, you know, if your players are understanding of what you want, then they're going to have some confidence, and hopefully they're going to play fast, which is what we want, you know. So, but it can be difficult at times. I can get frustrated at times, you know. I mean, the only child comes out in me where I want to be able to move the ball, and it can get frustrating. So, you know, we just got to stick to the game plan. Understand that when you play in this league, especially when you play against somebody like Kearney, it is going to be difficult. Things are not going to be easy. There may be people that aren't running wide open, all right? So we're going to have to make throws. We're going to have to make tough catches. We're going to have to control the line of scrimmage up front and be able to run the football effectively, and which is what we've been able to do. I feel like the last 2 weeks it's really helped us offensively.
Yeah, and this is not your first ranked opponent this season, you know. So how is prepping for these teams that week kind of different from others?
You know, we don't go into the week saying, all right, okay, guys, we're going to play a ranked team this week. We got to play. It's our players know. You know how it is. I mean, you know, it's everywhere. You know, yeah, it's on the scouting report, and this league is so difficult. You really got to take every week like it's the most important game on your schedule, because it is the next game. And I know that's cliche-ish or whatever, but that's true. You know, you don't want to make the game bigger than what it is, because I want us to be able to go out and play our brand of football and be who we are and be physical and play fast, play with relentless effort, and, you know, do a great job of tackling, play together. You know, stick together, all those sort of things, and everybody, you know, take advantage of their role, whatever that role is. You know, not everybody can be the superstar and be the playmaker. So when you get called upon, you got to make the best of it. You know, so that's kind of how we go about it, and that's what works for us.
And you guys won your last 2 games, so you're coming in with a little winning streak. Is that kind of giving you guys more momentum than other games this season to keep going?
Yeah, I think it has, and that's one of the things we've talked about. You know, is just trying to get off the roller coaster ride where we play really well one week, and next week we, you know, get beat or we struggle or don't play very well. I think we put 2, you know, as far as complete games go, you know, 2 complete games back to back here the last 2 weeks, and I think that's important. Kind of going into this, you know, we're past basically the halfway point, you know. So kind of going into this last part of the schedule, the grind of this last part of the schedule, I think it's good to be, you know, have some momentum on your side.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Vince?
Hey, Coach, you know, I think John, if I heard him right, say back there something about, you know, not playing your brand of football and stuff like that, not changing who you are. Is this a game where, you know, you said that you're never going to play a perfect game? Is this a situation where you're almost going to have to be pretty perfect and manage the clock well against this team?
You know, I think, again, I think the perfect would be more like just efficiently executing. You know, I go back to the Pittsburgh State game. I'll use it for an example, and we knew that was going to be a very physical, hard-fought game. We felt like we matched up well with them, and, you know, we felt confident going into that game. And we talked all week about 6 or 7 plays when you have 2 teams that are both similar, and we just didn't execute on those 6 or 7 plays. You know, we had two penalties that hurt us. We you know, didn't do very well on special teams. We missed a couple extra points, and then we didn't score offensively, and then defensively we weren't able to you know, get the ball back there in the fourth quarter. So that's the thing. Like when you talk about perfection, it's about basically the 6 or 7 plays that a very close contest comes down to, you being on top and executing at a high level on those plays and making sure you're not doing anything to hurt yourself.
And Coach, one last thing for me, you know, how would you assess this team, right? You know, you come into camp, you don't really know, right? You have players graduating, you have players that, you know, are incoming freshmen, transfers, what have you. How would you describe your team, or how have you seen them change from the first week of training camp now into almost week 7?
Well, I think, kind of going into the year, I think, of course, I'm on the offensive side of the ball, so I felt really confident in what we had offensively coming back. Defensively, I knew we probably had some question marks because we gave up some big plays last year and, lost some really good players, but returned a lot of good players too as well. And I think I think right now, I'm really proud of how our defense has played up to this point. I think it took us a while offensively to kind of get going. But right now I feel like that we are a team that is very hungry, a team that is very, they understand kind of what each week is about in the MIAA. Unfortunately, we kind of had to learn that lesson the second week of the season. I think they are, it's a tight-knit group, really. I mean, these are guys there's some guys that have been around for a long time. They've invested a lot of their own time into this program, which, I think leads to that, just knowing how to prepare. That's kind of how I see this team. I feel like that right now we do have confidence. I think that as I think we've been able to build upon even the loss that we had 3 weeks ago. I was a little nervous that we were going to have a little bit of a letdown. And I feel like we've really just kind of started here, going up. And that's what we talked to our guys about. Now, we got a huge challenge in front of us. We got one of the best teams in the country, best quarterback in the country we're going to have to face. We don't need to do anything differently, like I said, and try to treat the game any differently because I want our guys to play the way they've been playing. It's not like you got to go out and try to make a play happen. Just play the game. So that's, again, I think we're a confident team right now. And I think that, I'm kind of looking forward to our really first true road test. Going on the road, the other road games we had, we drove in a day. All right, it's going to be the first one where it's going to be an overnight. And a lot of times I like those. I really do. You kind of get away from any distractions that you have. Plus, we've had fall break this week, so everybody's gone right now, on campus. So that's the way I like it. Watch some film with the players, a little bit extra. They don't have class to go to. It'd be like they're NFL players right now as far as preparation. And our guys they love the game. They prepare. They really, it's important to them. That's a long answer, I know, but I do really like this team.
Coach, one little quick thing. If you do beat Kearney, what would that do for this team?
Well, I think that again, it's that same mantra of just like stay the course. Keep climbing the peaks. Don't be any different. Every week, it's just you can get beat on any given Saturday in this league, and I think it just kind of keeps our momentum going, and gives us more confidence because we know how good they are. We felt like the last 2 years that we've had our opportunities to beat Kearney, and last year we were up 21-7, and then they came back on us and kind of put the game away. I think. You don't talk. We haven't talked a lot about last year by any means. I just think you learn about those. You learn, and kind of see where you can be better at. So, yeah. Anyway, what was the question? Anyway, am I on track right now? I'm way. Huh? Am I good with what I said?
I think that was great, Coach.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was totally.
I start thinking about you guys. Start asking me questions about Kearney and all that. And I start thinking about different things. But anyway.
That's okay. No, that was great, Coach. We always appreciate your time.
Yeah, you bet. I appreciate you guys.
Good. Thanks, Coach.
All right, see you guys.